Okay, starting a new game here. We are going to have to come up with an interesting creative name here. I think we're going to do something like min-maxing for the win. Yeah, that sounds about right, where this character is about. Male, because it doesn't really matter. Let's make you a knight. Gift. Does anyone really use something besides the master key? Like, seriously. Average physique is fine. Yeah, common or whatever. And hair. What do we want to do for hair? That looks silly. Let's do short, because you have your self-esteem. But then we're going to give you a silly hair color, like gold. Okay, let's do this. In the age of ancients. Ah, it's a rat. Let's get out of here. I don't really like rats very much. I need to unequip that stuff so we get fast roll. Awesome. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Super exciting dungeon. I'm not exactly speedrunning, but there's no reason to take our time in the Undead Asylum because this run, in case you weren't aware, is to get the Lucerne and to do probably all bosses with the Lucerne. I mean, except for this one, of course. So there's no real point to really get excited about the Undead Asylum, which is like the only part of the game that you can do with the default weapons, and it's not really interesting to talk about, except that it's necessary. We will rest at this bonfire, I think. I'm not quite good enough to not rest at any bonfires. Oh, the tower kite shield. Ow! Stop that. Stupid archers. What sword does the knight use? I've actually never played... Oh, we get a broadsword. I have honestly never played as a knight. I almost always start as a warrior or a bandit or one of the magic things. Actually, I did a cleric run. My last run. That was fun. Okay, this is okay damage. Hey Oscar, what's up? We are going to rescue you with large rocks. Yeah, nobody cares. Sweet and sweet. Yeah, hiding us after death. You know, I heard an interesting thing about Oscar being in the game as a NPC who shows up more than twice, and he like follows you throughout the area. It's kind of like Solaire does. And in the end, regardless of the choice you make with Koth or Frampt, he will pick the opposite choice, and you have a showdown with him. And I'm kind of sad that they didn't include that in the main game, because that sounds like that could have been kind of entertaining to have like a rival character. This sword does not have a poke attack, except for this, which is kind of frustrating, but then again, we are getting rid of this in like 30 seconds, so no biggie. Parry, stop. Okay, let's stop fucking around and go kill, let's go kill the Asylum Demon. He doesn't seem like a very nice guy. Two hand. And jump. Crunch. Okay, now let's just whack him in the butt a bunch of times and roll out of the way. And whack him in the stomach a few times, and okay, don't dodge that, I guess. Dodging that would have been boring. Let's just roll through that, and swing and swing and swing, and okay, don't dodge that either. What's wrong with you? Okay, well, it doesn't matter. He's dead, Big Pilgrim's Key. Let's go. And now we are finally done, except for... I think there's a soul over here somewhere. I don't know. Not really super necessary, but hey, it's 200 souls, so why not? I can use that to level, because I think I need 6 levels before I can effectively one-hand the Lucerne, because I think I need 12 and 15 if I remember my guide reading. Hey, bird. Lordran! Could do a human the whole time run, but I feel like, considering the fact that I am crap, I feel like if I tried to limit myself to only being human, the run would end really, really quickly. Okay, stairs are hard. Let's head up here. Actually, I think there's another consumable item over here. Can I jump through those windows? No, apparently not. We are going around here, and we're going to get what I hope is a soul item. Soul item? No, it's fire bombs. Fuck you, fire bombs. I'm actually really amazed that anyone ever has seriously picked the black firebomb as their upgrade, or gift rather, because, like, seriously, who in their right mind gets one firebomb when they could have had the master key or something? I mean, like, the only gift that I understand, because it's the only other gift that I've ever taken, is the old witch's ring, because it's kind of a pain to get in the game. You have to, I forget what it is exactly you trade, but you have to trade it for Snuggly the Crow, and then it's kind of a rare item before that you have to trade to Snuggly, and so it's kind of a pain. So I understand starting with the old witch's ring if you don't mind doing Blighttown. It's kind of fun to have the payoff of actually getting to talk to Quaylog's sister or whatever, but, you know. That's if you're interested in a lore run. And this is a unique weapon run, so we will be completely and entirely ignoring that. And I think I'm actually going to go and get the Homeward Bones and Cracked Red Eye Orbs, because those are fun to have, and I'll probably do some PvP with this character at some point, and yeah, mostly Homeward Bones though. I mean, the Morning Star is also down here, but that's not that interesting of a weapon. It's kind of just a axe, but not. I don't know. On my very first character, I actually discovered this area by mistake. I thought that there was like a hallway in where that elevator was, and I fell down here and discovered this completely by accident. I had not. This was before I started reading the guide. And so because of the fact that I found it down here, I decided to actually use the Morning Star, and as it turns out, the Morning Star is kind of crap. But then again, so was I, so maybe those are somewhat correlated. Alright, now we begin the descent into madness here. Let's run past these scalies. Unfortunately, I have like barely any stamina at all, which is kind of a pain, because this will be a lot of running and not attacking things, because these things respawn, and also I do shit damage. So, tum-ti-tum. Put our shield up, and then we roll like a pro. And then we keep on running, and then we keep on running, and then we jump, and then we mess up the thing where you roll immediately when you land, because I suck at games. And in here, and let's kill the necromancer. Die, bitch, die. Okay, we do absolutely awful damage, and hey, it's a skeleton, we're dead. Okay. Well, I think we're going to have to employ some save and quit strats, because we need those skeletons to go away, and fighting the necromancer is going to be hard enough as it is. So, let us pop these souls. Actually, is that going to be enough for a level? Which I'll soon find out. 400 souls? I forget where we are. Yeah, no. Okay. JK. Let's ignore that and go on our merry way. Bird. No friend. I think I'm not planning on making this character super high level, so we might Dark Wraith, by which I mean talk to Kath and do 4 Kings first, but I might also not. I haven't decided yet if I want to make this just a single all bosses run, or if I want to use this character to set up some New Game Plus runs, or New Game Plus 2 runs. Because there are a bunch of suggestions in the thread that I posed on our Dark Souls about unique weapons, and there are a lot of really good suggestions, and obviously I can't do all of them and claim that I used one for an entire run. So I think, as I said, I'm going to use the Lucerne for this run, which is why we're down here in the Catacombs. And okay, now save and quit. Actually, quit, you motherfucker. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to use Lucerne, and I think we might want to set up something like the Abyss Greatsword, or another one of those, like Velka's Talisman, which, like, it'd be fun to do an entire run with, like, including Undead Asylum, but that definitely requires New Game Plus, and also, like, Intelligence, which I have no intention of leveling at any point during this. I'm going to die. And this is what it looks like. Let's see if we can actually kill this guy. That would be fun. Hello. 18. This sword is shit. I think someone actually recommended the broadsword. Who was that? Okay, the broadsword is probably okay if you actually bother to level it up. But I have, what, like 2 strength, and it is completely unleveled, so it's kind of crap at the moment. However, I'm hoping that the Lucerne will actually be pretty good for my current stats, and without even having to upgrade it at first, so I think that it will make the beginning of the game significantly easier. I haven't decided yet if I want to allow myself to summon, because ONS might be tricky. But I think that if it has the damage that I'm hoping for, then we might just not bother summoning people, because who needs summons except casuals? That was a terrible dodge. How did he die? God. Yeah. Finally! Okay. He is dead, and we can open this. And I think I'm going to kindle this bonfire because I might need 10 Estus, because this next part will be hard. Actually, it might not be as hard as what we just did, but it might also be kind of difficult. I'm probably going to do a grab it, hopefully before dying, and then come back here by dying, and then the rest of the Operation Lucerne will be just getting back to Firelink, which shouldn't be too hard considering that I got here, though Firelink Shrine is uphill and I have to climb up that ladder. But you know what, it probably won't be that big of a deal. Let's definitely level up though, put a point in strength since we can. And we're actually within, if I remember correctly, the Lucerne requires 15 strength in one hand, so we should be all set once we actually get it. So let us hope for the best. Now, if I recall from the wiki, because I shamelessly looked it up because I wasn't interested in exploring the Catacombs on a practically level 1 character, the Lucerne is right here in these rooms somewhere. In fact, I think that thing right there is it. Back there. Skeletons. My skeletons, why? I think this is it. Yes, this is it. Okay. Let us jump away and jump through and get out of here. Oh, no, just kidding. We're dead. Okay, so that was the strategy that I had in mind. Somewhat. I mean, yeah, there's 2 humanity gone, but whatever. Humanity comes down like the freaking autumn rain later in the game. So, fun fact, if you ever need humanity, all you have to do is go to the Ulasil Township Dungeon with a gold serpent ring, and you're basically guaranteed to get 20 before you can say farming. So, super useful because there's a ton of PvP in the township, and most of it requires that you are human. In fact, all of it requires you be human, unless you're being summoned to gank or something. I don't know. Basically, the only kind of online play that doesn't require being human, I think, is phantom summoning. This is just me messing around with the moveset of the Lucerne to figure it out, because I have not actually used this weapon ever before. In fact, when I looked it up was the point at which I realized that it existed. This is not working out as well as I had hoped on these skeletons. Hello. How are you? Which is sort of sad. We shall see. I was kind of hoping that this weapon would be slightly more effective, but then maybe it's just a product of the whole, 10 strength thing. Or 14 strength and 12 dex. And this doesn't exactly have the best scaling in the world. Okay, I'm getting shreked by these skeletons. Okay. Come on. Okay. Yes, we died. Okay. So, I think that the proper strat for this, even with the Lucerne in hand, is to run screaming. So, let's do that. We shall run. Run. Up the stairs. Run past this guy, up the ladder. Please don't hit me. Hey, you missed. Missed by a mile. Okay, so we should be all set now. We just have to run past these two guys here, and we'll dodge out, or... okay. Yeah, so remember, if you ever want to avoid a hit, they definitely won't hit you after you've fallen in a pit. That's pretty guaranteed. So, if you ever want to dodge something, just roll off a cliff. Works perfectly every time. He's on the ladder. Can you stop that? Okay. Run. Hello. Excuse me, please. Thank you. And hey, there's Firelink. We made it, kind of. I mean, we see the light. That's nice. Now we just have to run past these people, which is pretty easy. I actually am fairly practiced at not touching any of the skeletons in Firelink, because in a couple of runs in the past I started the game with a Zweihander, which has a similar strat to the one that we just used to get to Lucerne, except it's extremely short. It mostly involves... I can't jump off there. No, skeleton. It mostly involves running over to the big tombstone, picking it up, and running back to Firelink, and it takes about 30 seconds. And then you have a fairly OP weapon. But the point of this run is to use weapons that are slightly more interesting than the Zweihander. I mean, the Zweihander is great because it's like, kind of hits like a truck. And it's fairly fast. But it's also super overused. Like, it's overused enough that the most famous build in the game, the Chaos Hander Giant Dad, uses the Zweihander. So... that's how overplayed it is. It would be like doing a giant's armor run. It would be about that boring. Shrink. Somehow that does 50 damage for 2 hits. I'm not sure what exactly happened there. But I am sure that he's dead now, so we can move on. Come here. Come here, you little shit. Would you just come here? Okay. And now we're going to backstab him because overkill. Like, actually, though. I actually really like the overkill mechanic. For those of you who don't know, if you kill an enemy with a hit that does 100, I think it's 150% of their total health, you get an overkill bonus of, I think, 20% on top of the normal souls that you get. So it's a small compensating thing for, like, if you're super overpowered with the area, it's not completely chump change to kill the enemies, though it still kind of is. But it is kind of fun to, when if you run back through here slightly later in the game, like to, I don't know, kill Capra, or just because you went back for something at Firelink, you can kill the enemies and get significantly more souls than you did the first time around, assuming that you, of course, did not pick up the Lucerne on your you know, before you really even went this way, and then in which case you get the overkill bonus to start with because you're a dirty cheater. And braved the Catacombs, like I did. So, that's fun. I'm actually kind of happy with how well this Lucerne seems to be working on these undead soldiers. It's seems to be somewhat tracking them. Although, except that miss was pretty pathetic, but yeah. I don't really have any complaints with this weapon. This is kind of fun. It's this interesting combination of axe pole thing. It's like a pole axe. I mean, that's kind of what a halberd is, but still, like... it does not have a poke attack. I'm not sure if I'm okay with that just yet, but the chop attack seems to fill most of the functions, and if I remember from the wiki correctly, the chop attack does pierce damage, because it's chopping the pokey bit. So we might make use of some pierce damage things. For some reason I was thinking of the Leo ring, but I just remembered that's thrust damage. There's something else that boosts pierce things, just like there is for slash and thrust. Or the thrust is Leo ring. Strike. There's something that boosts all of them, and I don't remember what they are, but I know they exist. It's not only thrust weapons that get boosted. Respect. Okay, here we are at the Undeadburg bonfire. I think I'm going to pop this soul really quick. And also these other ones, but I'm going to equip those to make it more expedient. And I'm going to get rid of these things, because really, who uses those? And I think this will work out to be enough souls for a couple levels, certainly enough to get us to one-hand the Lucerne, which would be useful because, you know, blocking might be a good thing to try one of these days. So let's light this bonfire, and we are going to level up. I think I'm going to definitely put the point into strength and one into endurance. Yeah, okay, that's all we have points for. And I think that will be good for now, and now we can equip our Tower Kite Shield, because that's what we have. And if I have a sneaking suspicion that we are going to mid-roll. Yeah, that looks like mid-roll. Yeah, mid-roll. Okay. So, since we're mid-roll, let's put on some more armor to get up to 50%, because there's no reason to just barely mid-roll. I think this knight armor is too much, though. Let's do the gauntlets and maybe a helmet? Helm. Yeah, that'll work. So now we have a mid-roll, but it's significantly more armor than we did without the gauntlets and helmet. So that's useful. And fuck you. This weapon is pretty good. This one-handed attack seems to be capable of killing enemies right out, so I'm okay with that. And the moveset seems to be mostly the same. It's got a jumping chop. It seems to be mostly chop based. There doesn't seem to be any pokes. It's got the standard. This looks like exactly the same as the halberd, except that it has the chops instead of the pokes. Which, you know, it's the whole point of this weapon is the chops. So I'm not gonna really begrudge it for replacing pokes with chops. And that is, you know, it's like begrudging a dog for having a tail. Yeah, I might stop backstabbing these guys, but it's also kind of hilarious, so I might also just not. Yeah, mid-roll. Oh hey, what are you doing out here? Eat it. And I'm going to head up here, and then run away, and lure them into a corridor, because bottleneck strats. Oh hey, battle axe. That's useful. And roll and swing. Okay. Now that we've done that, we're going to head up here. And actually, interesting fun fact, the first time I played this game, dropped some souls up here. I forget what my reason for doing this was, but I ran up here like 15 million times, and died most of those times. just to kill these 3 guys, which I later learned that could be skipped completely and literally don't attack you unless you come up here. And there's this Soul of the Lost Undead, which is worth, like, nothing. It's, as we say, chump change. Ooh, that was an interesting roll. And let's open this. I think we can do it with the... Yes, Master Key. And let's kill this archer dude, because he could be annoying later. Choink. Choink. That's not bad for one-handed damage. I think the two-handed one-shots them, so that's useful to know. And we're going to come through here and pick up the gold pine resin. Yeah, gold pine resin. Which is super fun. And I just aggroed all these guys, which is kind of annoying. Let's see if we can parry these guys. Parry. Okay, no parry. No parry for me. That's annoying, but hey, I just did damage to both of them, and these guys will be dropped pretty quickly. Because this does a lot of damage. Shrink. And yeah, that's Estus. And kick this guy. Or, okay, don't kick this guy. We will instead whack this guy. Longsword. Okay. Now, do I want to kill the Black Knight? Do I want to kill the Black Knight? Yeah, let's kill the Black Knight. He ate shit. Let's show him what he's made of. Hopefully I don't totally screw up the parries. Oh, there we go. Okay. Ooh, 176. That is definitely the most damage I've ever done against this guy at this point in the game. And, okay, don't parry. Parrying would be boring. We can get this, though. Yeah, there we go. That shield followed up by a thrust is one of the easier ones to parry, because he always does the same thing right after the shield attack. Okay, that won't stop me from missing it, though. Okay. The thrust attacks are by far the... what the hell was that? I hate it when that happens. I've never quite figured out what exactly I'm doing wrong when I do that, but somehow the parry riposte thing gets messed up and it just does a normal attack, which is kind of annoying. But anyway, as I was saying, the Black Knights and also the Silver Knights have some really predictable thrust attacks, and that always follow certain moves. So you can pretty much reliably punish them for their predictability. And I'm going to equip the blue tier stone ring because why not? I have no reason to run around with no rings. So let's head up here and dodge the flaming barrel of death and kill this guy. Shwink, shwink. And we're going to come up here, and I suppose I could kill Havel, but I don't feel like it. I mean, he's not that much harder to defeat compared to the Black Knight. It's a pretty similar strategy, though usually I'm way too afraid to try to parry Havel, because unlike the Black Knight that does a bit of damage, if you fuck up a parry against Havel, it's a one-shot. So that's kind of annoying. Oh, hey, Titanite. So there's that. So we're going to come through the white light here, and we're going to run up the ladder. Yeah, there's some snipers up here that are kind of annoying. Also, it's a great spot to jump from, so it's good if they're gone. Yeah, and we're gonna bludgeon these guys to death. And oh hey, he dropped something. Yes. By the way, the Hollow Soldier armor is like the best waistcloth in the game. And it's super light and gives a ton of poise, like actually. So I think we can actually mid-roll with this now. Yeah, we can mid-roll with that. So yeah, fun fact, if you ever can't decide what armor to wear, you should wear the Hollow Warrior waistcloth, because its weight to poise ratio is the best in the entire game, and it's kind of fun, and looks kind of weird, so it will scare people. Also, people have this very high opinion of it, so if you use it in PvP, then people will be automatically scared of you if they recognize it. It's kind of like the red tier stone ring. It's kind of like, you can actually be really crap at the game, but if someone notices the red glowy effect show up after you go down to 20% health, they'll assume you meant to do that and be scared of you. Or at least some people will. And that does a ton of damage. So I am really, really happy with the Lucerne right now. And we're going to dodge out of the way of that. And here. And dodge that, or back up from it. And give him a good whack and get crushed. Okay, so we can't exactly trade blows, but we can certainly hit pretty hard. So let's try to dodge a bit here. Shrink. And he totally missed me somehow. I'm not sure how that worked, but he is very dead. He is basically the short of that. So yeah, totally dead. And we're going to move on. Humanity. So yeah. The tower shield kind of looks fun on the back there. Let's break these boxes. And actually get the thing on that corpse rather than just breaking it and showing it to everyone. And we're going to come through here, and let's go talk to Solaire. Because he seems like a cool dude. And we're going to let him talk.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time. Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment.
Yes, I would love to help you, Solaire.
The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey? This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this. We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
Fun fact. You can tell that Solaire is not completely insane because the insane people who have creepy laughs at the end of their thing have ease in their laugh. Like Lautrec has keh. But Solaire has a good old wholesome ha ha ha. So we can be pretty certain that he is in fact, he's okay. He's alright. And we're going to run past this and hope we don't get burned. Okay, we're going to get burned. Oh, but we made it. That was surprising. Okay. I was kind of expecting to get Shrek'd there. Anyway, kick the ladder. And here we are, back at the Undead Bird Bonfire. And I think I'm going to call it a wrap for this lovely episode of my Lucerne run. So, if you watched this, thank you. If you didn't watch this and can hear me, you might want to see a therapist because you're hearing voices. Okay. Goodbye.